goosebumps. We have a house in town. By the time we would get in the car, by the time we got there, less than 3 hours later, I had to stop at the bookstore there and buy the next one.
And you did what? You stopped at the bookstore and did what?
I bought the next one.
That's all
But
I'm
the
saying.
bottom line, these are about monsters.
I don't care what he's saying. I don't
That's
care
what
what
I'm
it is.
just
You bought the book. That's all we saying. But at this point, we want to get some other questions from the audience.
But Omar,
Yeah.
first of all, there's another
I'm just
thing.
saying, we got to.
Everybody can't just go out and buy hardback books. There are people that can't afford it.
Right.
Okay, and that's why we have libraries.
Well, I'm not against libraries, but
You know,
I'm quite sure your son had his own.
Yeah, but those books, they, by the time they drop French fries and stuff on them.
That's all we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this ain't a hardback. This book is only $10. And it took me 4 years to get them to say, all right, we're going to do a brown book so we can prove to you that they ain't going to buy it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But at this point, you've been a great conversation. Do we have any other questions?
Terry, right back here.
Thank you, Omar.
Okay, I have to say thank you so much to Omar Tyree as well as Terry McMillan. Both of you are outstanding. Thank you so much. The question that I have goes back to what you said about the authors on your website. And I think it's very true. A lot of us, very talented authors, get misrepresented or overlooked. I mean, our work just doesn't get out there. I spoke to a very prominent author just the other day, and he said there are authors out there who actually have contracts, but
Aren't
their
you
contracts
interested I was a
are being...
poet up here?
Yeah.
Oh, I love what you read. I can't speak very good.
Thank you.
Sorry.
But I was just saying, I spoke to a very prominent author, and he said even authors who have contracts are being canceled. So it's a very delicate issue right now for authors. And I'm wondering, have you ever considered, and if you already have this, I would love to know more about it, but have you ever considered a Terry McMillan Festival?
Terry McMillan what?
A Terry McMillan Festival where there is an abundance of different authors that people just don't know about. But these are authors that maybe you have read their work and you know they're very talented.
Well, I'm going to jump on that right quick. She had a book that she edited called Breaking Ice that had 52, and she was one of the few people that did that. And now my son is reading Octavia Butler, starting with Wild Seed, and he's like, what else you got from Octavia Butler? What is it? He done raided my library of Octavia. But 52, nobody else, this woman put some money where her mouth is.
Well, but the thing is this, I think that there is a possibility that I may end up trying to get in my own imprint, but I have to do it in such a way that will let a lot of young writers know that no, you may not be able to quit your job, okay? Because what's unfortunate now with this whole instant fame business is that a lot of young people, a lot of even young beginning writers, just like you were talking about Shaneska, a lot of them, and we're not bad mouthing her because I grew up and write too. They think that getting on the bestsellers list is everything, and it is not. And there are writers out here who, just because you're good doesn't necessarily mean that you may be able to make your living at this, which is unfortunate. But I think that, everybody wants to be rich. It's not just have a decent home, drive a decent car, pay my bills on time, take a couple of vacations a year. No, it's got to be Range Rover. Everything. And we as black people, we were raised to want the best of everything, even being poor. But now, there are writers out here that I think deserve to have attention, and they're not getting it. There are quite a few black authors who also have their own prints, but some of them are just publishing urban writing. And even some of that stuff is starting to cancel each other out, cancel the other out, because they're telling the same stories. So I say, even with the slam poetry, what Russell Simmons is doing, I just think that there is power in visibility, and people showing support is important, but there are you know, Malika Gerald at Simon Schuster at Atria Books, she tries her best to show support. Did I answer your question?
No.
But that's just, but the thing is that what I have to do, I mean, I read somewhere, or somebody said that, a true show or a true display of power is, no, that's the wrong analogy, never mind. I'm just gonna look into it, because it's important that a lot of young writers know that they can be published, because unfortunately, there are a lot of writers out here who are self-publishing, which is, books are not being edited, and people are selling books because it seems like it's really this urgency all of a sudden to have your name on a book. Because I don't know anybody these days who doesn't want to be a writer. And 30 years ago, that was not the case. And so on some levels, I think it's wonderful. But at the same time, too, there are a lot of these young writers out here who don't read. There's a lot of them that do not read, because you can tell the way they write that they don't read.
That's true.
Well, they actually brag about it. A lot of them.
I don't have a degree, I'm not a writer. I wrote my first book, my second book, and my third book.
Yeah, they brag about it. We got another question from the audience?
Hi,
Hi.
I really, can you hear me? I really appreciate having to be able to chat with Terry McMillan.
Keep the microphone,
I really appreciate being able to chat with Terry McMillan and Omar. I am the opposite of you guys. When I was in high school over 30 years ago, and I had to write something, and we had to write a composition every week, my stomach would do flips, turns, and before words would get out on the paper. You know, sometimes when I got it out, I kind of liked what I wrote. And once in a while, the teacher even liked what I wrote, but it was a horrible experience. A few years ago, I got an idea for a book, and I'm going for it, and I'm having the time of my life. After hating writing, I'm having fun. So now I'm at the point, I'm getting to the point where I would like to find the publisher. So could you give me some pointers? Besides, in the book that you have, Omar, sounds like a good idea. And people have told me, people have said, well, why don't you self-publish? And I said, I don't know anything about computers. I don't know anything about publishing. And if I find somebody to do it for me, I have their editors, I have their advice, and I have their marketing.
Is it a novel? You said it was a novel?
No, it is biographical.
A memoir?
No, not mine. I'm interviewing people, and it's an incredible idea. So
Then what you should do is this. What you should do is this. You should go to the reference section at Barnes & Noble or any bookstore and look up how to get an agent. Look up literary agents.
I got that.
Well, then there you go.
Well, you see, because I'm interviewing people, I already have a lawyer who so they sign a release giving me permission to interview them. So he's also now he's going to find me the literary agent. But I've also found out that there are publishers that don't want authors that have literary agents. They want to just...
No, that's one reason why people self-publish. A literary agent is like having a fairy godmother or father. They protect your interests. They make sure you don't get screwed, that your contract is legitimate, that it's valid, and that your rights are protected.
Well, I also have the lawyer to protect...
Lawyers don't automatically do that. Lawyers aren't automatically, they don't know necessarily the publishing industry. And most times if you have an agent, you don't need a lawyer.
For other individuals that I have an actual publishing program that I'm doing now, where I have a publishing 101.